Remains of a military vessel and funerary complex have been uncovered by an Egyptian-French archaeological team. The discovery was made in the sunken city of Heraklion.
Countless sailors have whispered dark stories about a long-lost city from beneath the sea, just below the waves near Alexandria, Egypt.
You're coming across statues underwater, you're coming across columns underwater. It's just magical, diving on an underwater city.
Known as Heraklion, once a thriving trade hub, the sea swallowed this ancient place, blurring the lines between legend and reality. Now, hidden beneath the water, it holds relics and ruins that tell stories of its majestic past. What truths might still be concealed in these underwater shadows? Come along as we listen to the echoes of a civilization that has long been submerged and has recently been discovered. The mythical city beneath the waves. In ancient Egyptian terms, the city known as Heraklion, or Thonis, was once considered just a myth. It was said to be buried under the sea, near where the Nile River flows into the sea, close to what we now call Alexandria, Egypt. For many years, people only knew about it from a handful of old writings and rare mentions until it was finally found in the early 2000s. Looking at submerged ruins is tricky. You have to think about all the reasons why they might have ended up underwater. Frank Godot, an underwater archaeologist, and his team discovered this sunken city, turning a legend into a real piece of history, a truly revolutionary event in archaeology. Heraklion wasn't just any place. It was an essential port that connected Egypt to the world, mainly serving Greek traders before Alexandria became the main port. The city was a bustling center, full of business, cultural exchanges, and religious activities, especially known for being a major site for worshiping the god Amun-Gareb. These places are underwater now because the ground sank rather than because the sea level rose, and this happened not too long ago. One of the most honored traditions there were the yearly mysteries of Osiris, a festival that celebrated the revival of Osiris. Here, we also find Osiris, a deity from Egypt who was honored by the ancient Egyptians as a provider of civilization's benefits, not just in Egypt, but across numerous other regions too. The items and carvings found underwater tell us about a magnificent city, about 4 miles from the shore, buried under 30 to 45 feet of water. The remains of Heraklion have brought to light a stunning collection of artifacts. There are huge statues, some over 16.4 feet tall, that have been intricately carved and are remarkably well preserved in the muddy ocean floor. These statues show us images of Egyptian gods and goddesses, pharaohs, and Greek leaders, showcasing the diverse cultural influences that merged in Heraklion. These figures demonstrate how newcomers to Egypt introduced their religious practices, constructing ancient mounds along the Nile Valley. In addition to these statues, explorers have discovered gold coins and weights made of bronze and stone that provide insight into the trading practices and economic strategies that supported the city's wealth. Archaeologists have also unearthed dozens of small limestone sarcophagi, probably used for the mummified remains of animals offered as sacrifices, and they have found over 64 shipwrecks. These finds help us piece together a picture of a city where trade and religious devotion were closely linked, a city that held significant spiritual importance. Comparing Heraklion with the ancient city of Pompeii in Italy offers a fascinating view on how natural disasters can both destroy and preserve cities. While Pompeii was engulfed in volcanic ash, Heraklion was overwhelmed by rising waters and earthquakes. Both cities were forgotten for centuries, but their rediscovery provides glimpses into ancient life. Pompeii offers a snapshot of Roman life frozen in time, while Heraklion reveals aspects of ancient Egyptian civilization through the artifacts preserved underwater. The continued exploration of Heraklion is redefining our understanding of ancient history, highlighting how connected ancient civilizations were. The artifacts and buildings that are now being retrieved from the depths remind us of the temporary nature of human accomplishments and the complex web of our history. Moving on to another intriguing find, The submerged ruins of Cleopatra's Palace provide a captivating look into the past. This palace was once a thriving center of political and cultural activities and was home to Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Egypt, who was known for her intelligence, political savvy, and enchanting charisma. The discovery of its ruins has excited historians and archaeologists, offering new insights into a time marked by significant political power, cultural richness, and architectural elegance. The underwater excavations at this site have uncovered a multitude of artifacts that paint a detailed picture of life in ancient Alexandria. Among these treasures are splendid statues that may have decorated the palace and its surroundings, depicting Egyptian gods, Hellenistic rulers, and possibly Cleopatra herself. These artifacts give us clues about the artistic and religious practices of the time. The underwater structures, which likely include the palace's residential and ceremonial areas, and perhaps even the famed Pharos Lighthouse, offer a glimpse into the architectural and urban planning styles of that era. Additionally, everyday items like pottery, glassware, coins, and personal accessories have been discovered, vividly illustrating both the domestic life inside the palace and the vibrant economic activity in Alexandria. Cleopatra's Alexandria was a global center for trade, culture, and learning, famous for housing the great library and drawing scholars from all over the ancient world. Cleopatra's rule marked the height of Alexandria's growth as a center of Hellenistic culture, blending Egyptian traditions with those of Greece and Rome. The underwater discovery of the palace underscores Alexandria's role in the ancient Mediterranean world and draws comparisons with the sunken Roman city of Baiae in the Bay of Naples. Cleopatra's palace and Baiae represented the pinnacle of luxury and political influence of their times, reflecting their civilization's architectural tastes and wealth. While Baiae provides insights into Roman elite leisure and architectural innovation, the underwater ruins of Cleopatra's palace open a window to the end of the era of the Egyptian pharaohs and the efforts of the Ptolemaic dynasty to integrate Egyptian and Hellenistic cultures. From Herakleon's depths, we shift to another historical figure and her legendary palace, Cleopatra. Echoes of Alexandria show Cleopatra's legacy under the sea. The ongoing exploration of Cleopatra's palace helps us learn more about ancient Alexandria's crucial role in the Mediterranean. It also gives us a closer look at the life of Cleopatra VII, one of history's most fascinating figures, and the luxurious lifestyle she led. The ruins remind us of Alexandria's past greatness and the brief nature of human accomplishments, showing how nature can change history. Founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BC, Alexandria quickly became one of the most important trading centers of the ancient world, alive with the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. Its location on Egypt's Mediterranean coast made it a key point for connecting trade routes from Europe, Asia, and Africa, turning it into a globally significant melting pot. The port's strategic and economic significance was unmatched, mainly because it was the main route for Egypt's grain shipments to Rome, which were crucial for the empire's stability. Among the wonders that made Alexandria famous was the Pharos Lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Located on the island of Pharos, this architectural marvel not only helped ships safely enter the harbor with its powerful light, but also represented the city's wealth and creativity. While not directly related to the port, the Great Library of Alexandria was another symbol of the city's intellectual and cultural wealth, attracting scholars and thinkers from all over the world. Alexandria's royal areas and palaces, including the Museion, which housed the famous library, showcased the city's status as a center of Hellenistic culture and power. Underwater archaeology in the port area has revealed a collection of artifacts, from ancient shipwrecks to everyday objects, illuminating the era's maritime practices and the variety of goods that passed through Alexandria. The port was central to the ancient economy, bustling with the trade of grain, papyrus, glass, and precious metals, among other items. Its docks and warehouses were busy places, showing a well-organized system that made Alexandria a cultural and economic link between different civilizations. The finding of various ship remains and goods in Alexandria underscores its broad influence in the ancient trading world. Alexandria's port's legacy is significant, affecting maritime trade, architecture, and culture long after its prime. Continuous archaeological efforts in the port area enhance our knowledge of how ancient civilizations interacted, traded, and lived daily. Its history is a strong reminder of how interconnected humanity has been throughout the ages. The ancient sunken city of Alexandria, found at the Nile River's entrance in Egypt, is packed with archaeological wonders and historical insights. It was established by Alexander the Great in 331 BCE and quickly became a central cultural and economic hub in the ancient world. Over time, parts of this famous city sank into the sea because of earthquakes and tsunamis. The exploration of Alexandria's underwater ruins by Frank Godot and his team showcases human curiosity and the advancements in technology. Their work in uncovering this submerged city blends stories of history, technology, and legend, opening a window into one of the grandest civilizations of the past. They used cutting-edge technology, like robot submarines and advanced sonar mapping, to explore underwater, similar to how explorers studied the Titanic wreck. While the Titanic exploration opened up deep-sea archaeology, Godot's project brought an ancient city's scene back to life, showing how archaeological methods have improved. Preserving underwater artifacts presents unique challenges vastly different from those encountered with land-based archaeological finds like the Dead Sea Scrolls. In Alexandria, the saltwater environment accelerates the deterioration of materials, which necessitates the development of innovative conservation techniques tailored to these conditions. This variation underscores the diverse set of challenges that archaeologists must navigate depending on their excavation sites. The discovery of Alexandria's regal structures and temples allows researchers to delve deeply into the architectural and cultural splendor of the Ptolemaic dynasty, providing valuable insights into their sophisticated society. Similarly to how the uncovering of Pompeii revealed Roman urban life preserved in volcanic ash, the submerged ruins of Alexandria offer a window into the past that showcases ancient urban planning and religious practices in a unique underwater setting. When compared to other submerged cities like Baiae in Italy or Pavlopetri in Greece, the ruins of Alexandria stand out for their cultural richness and historical significance, highlighting its past as a vibrant center of trade, culture, and learning. The diverse array of artifacts recovered from Alexandria's waters demonstrates its historical role as a cultural crossroads, akin to the bustling Silk Road cities such as Samarkand. Among these findings are remnants believed to be from the Pharos Lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, which underscores the advanced engineering capabilities of the time and Alexandria's vital role in maritime navigation. This discovery parallels significant architectural feats in other ancient civilizations, like the Great Wall of China, underscoring how these monumental constructions played crucial roles in their respective societies. The successful exploration of Alexandria's underwater ruins not only deepens our understanding of ancient societies, but also drives further technological progress in underwater archaeology. This exploration reflects how the space race pushed forward aerospace technology, showing how historical explorations influence modern advancements. Furthermore, the cultural impact of these discoveries, similar to the excitement caused by finding King Tutankhamun's tomb, underscores the lasting fascination with Egypt's ancient civilizations. Exhibitions of artifacts from Alexandria's underwater ruins have captured the world's imagination. The underwater digs in the Mediterranean have revealed treasures that vividly portray a city rich in glory and history. Leaving Cleopatra's realm, we now uncover ancient Alexandria's architectural wonders and rich history. Guardians of history rediscover Ptolemaic Alexandria. Among the debris and ancient pieces, many statues, sphinxes, and incredible architectural works tell stories of ancient Alexandria's cultural and artistic heights. A standout find is a massive statue believed to be of Ptolemy Tsekun, symbolizing the blend of Hellenistic and Egyptian influences that marked the Ptolemaic dynasty. Made of red granite, this giant statue acts as a connector of two cultures, echoing the grand colossi of Memnon in Luxor, Egypt, and highlighting the tradition of large-scale sculpture that was prominent in ancient Egyptian culture. The ocean floor also gave up sphinxes and statues of Egyptian deities. These discoveries showcase the Ptolemies' efforts to integrate their Greek origins with the rich symbols of Egyptian religion. The sphinxes, grand with their lion bodies and human heads, symbolize the ruler's intelligence and strength, showing the mix of Greek and Egyptian cultures. Moreover, retrieving architectural pieces from Alexandria's waters offers a peek into the city's architectural skill and planning. Columns, tops of pillars, and decorative bands tell of a city where Egyptian, Greek, and Roman styles met, creating a distinctive look that reflected Alexandria's role as a cultural crossroads. This part of the finds is similar to archaeological discoveries in ancient Rome, where the merging of different architectural styles points to a vibrant, interconnected Mediterranean region. The excavation also uncovered various pottery and jewelry, providing insights into the everyday lives, trade, and artistic tastes of the people of Alexandria. The range of pottery, from simple household pots to intricately decorated ceremonial items, indicates a society with complex social layers and varied needs. The jewelry, gold earrings, necklaces, and rings, often adorned with precious stones, highlights Alexandria's wealth and its crucial position in the trade routes that span the Mediterranean. These pieces not only display the city's artistic prowess, but also its ties to the broader world. Through these finds, the submerged ruins of Alexandria continue to captivate and educate, offering a patchwork of insights into one of antiquity's grandest cities. When divers found a shipwreck near the Greek island of Antikythera in 1901, they didn't realize they were about to discover one of the most incredible artifacts of the ancient world, the Antikythera mechanism. Often considered the world's first analog computer, this device, dating back to around 100 BCE, is an astonishing example of ancient engineering and scientific know-how. With its complex system of over 30 bronze gears in a wooden casing, the mechanism was designed to predict lunar and solar eclipses, track the cycles of the Olympic Games, and model the moon's intricate orbit, showing a technological sophistication that appears far ahead of its time. What's really intriguing about the Antikythera mechanism isn't just its complexity or its accuracy. It was also an astronomical and calendar tool, able to figure out where the sun, moon, and possibly planets were in the sky. It had dials for the zodiac signs and the solar calendar, linking celestial events directly to ancient Greek timekeeping. The inscriptions on the device served as instructions, showing that its makers and users had a deep understanding of astronomy and math. The exact origins of this remarkable artifact are still debated, but it's not unlikely that it was connected to Alexandria. Known as a hub of knowledge during the Hellenistic period, Alexandria housed the famous library and the museum, a research center that attracted brilliant minds like Euclid and Archimedes. Their work in math, physics, and engineering might have influenced the design of the Antikythera mechanism, suggesting it could have come from this vibrant scientific community. In fact, some experts think that the ideas behind the mechanism might have been inspired by Archimedes, even though he lived before the device was made. Finding the Antikythera mechanism in a shipwreck shows the wide trade networks and cultural connections of the time, linking Alexandria with other Greek places, including Antikythera. These links probably helped spread technological and scientific knowledge across the Mediterranean. The legacy of the Antikythera mechanism goes beyond its historical and archaeological importance. It proves the technological capabilities of the ancient Greeks, challenging our views of ancient technology and showcasing their advanced understanding of mechanical devices. Modern scientists and engineers have been inspired by this ancient wonder, leading to new findings about ancient science and technology, and even creating replicas using old techniques. Continued research using high-tech imaging methods keeps revealing more about the Antikythera mechanism, giving us insights into the device and the Hellenistic era's scientific and cultural environment. Through this remarkable artifact, we better appreciate the ancient world's ingenuity, especially the critical role Alexandria played in nurturing a legacy of innovation and knowledge that still inspires us today. The vast parts of the world that archaeologists have never thoroughly explored are incredibly significant. The submerged continental shelves are especially important. That's why my friend Santa and I spent 7 years scuba diving globally. Located at the westernmost tip of the Saurashtra Peninsula, in what is now Gujarat, India, the ancient city of Dwarka offers a story as rich in spirituality and mythology as it is in historical urban development. It's estimated that 10.4 million square miles that were above water during the Ice Age are now submerged. The city's strategic location near the meeting point of the Gomati River and the Arabian Sea was crucial not just for defense against invaders, but also for boosting maritime trade and fostering connections with other parts of the ancient world. This geographic advantage, along with the city being surrounded by water on all sides, either as a peninsula or as a series of islands, created a natural fortress that was difficult for enemies to conquer. After Alexandria, we traveled to Dwarka, a city filled with myths and historical intrigue. The lost, sunken city of Dwarka. Most human civilizations have developed near water, right? As water levels change, some ancient cities could end up completely submerged. We did a lot of diving in southern India, and it was really interesting for her to talk with Tamil fishermen and divers in their language to see if they'd noticed anything unusual underwater, which they definitely had. Also, the Gomati River not only added to the city's scenic beauty, but was essential for the people living there. Dwarka, as described in ancient writings, was a city of architectural splendor. The city featured carefully planned streets, an advanced drainage system, and strong fortifications, all organized into specific areas for living, business, and government. We know it has been underwater for about 6,000 or 7,000 years, but how long was it standing before it went underwater? How long did it exist above the water? Such architectural and strategic skill shows a high level of sophistication, suggesting Dwarka was a city that combined beauty with intelligence, making it a powerful place in the ancient world. Imagine coming across statues and columns underwater. It's like exploring a magical sunken city. Diving off the coast of what is now Dwarka in Gujarat, India, archaeologists have carried out marine explorations that have greatly enhanced our understanding of the city's magnificence and the advanced civilization that once thrived there. These underwater searches have revealed structures like stone bases, walls, pillars, and steps believed to be part of the legendary Dwarka, a city of great significance in Hindu texts, showing the elaborate underwater architecture. This suggests the people of that time used advanced engineering and building techniques, indicating a society that was far ahead of its time in terms of city planning and infrastructure. Modern technologies like sonar scans, diving explorations, and underwater photography have played a key role in mapping the submerged city, giving us a clearer view of its complexity and scale. But the discoveries aren't just about structures. Many artifacts found on the seafloor and from land, digs near Dwarka, tell stories of a culturally rich and economically thriving society. The remains of well-constructed streets and an intricate drainage system highlight a high level of urban planning, showing a society that prioritized organization, environmental health, and the well-being of its people. The variety of materials found indicates that Dwarka was a thriving center of trade and cultural interactions, keeping up connections with other contemporary civilizations. This range of materials not only highlights the city's economic vigor, but also its openness and cultural energy. What's particularly captivating is the chronological evidence that has come to light through radiocarbon dating techniques. We now understand that civilization in India dates back at least 5,000 years. The widely discredited theory of an Aryan invasion of India should be set aside. Various artifacts and parts of the city's structure have been dated to the 2nd millennium BCE. placing Dwarka within the timeline associated with Lord Krishna, as depicted in traditional stories and ancient scriptures. This timing not only solidifies Dwarka's role as an important cultural, religious, and economic hub in the ancient world, but also links mythological tales to historical facts. These archaeological discoveries provide a solid framework for understanding how ancient urban settlements evolved in India, illuminating the social structures, trade activities, and cultural movements of the era. As we connect the dots from these ancient clues, Dwarka emerges as a key part of the fabric of Hindu mythology and the history of ancient India, celebrated not only for its divine beginnings, but also for the intrigue and grandeur that surround its tale. Central to the legend of Dwarka is its establishment by Lord Krishna, a major deity in Hinduism, honored across different traditions. The epic narratives from the Mahabharata and the Bhagavata Purana recount Krishna's efforts to safeguard his people from ongoing dangers, which prompted him to found this city. The choice of location was deliberate. Krishna chose a site that naturally defended itself and provided prosperous conditions for his followers. Krishna's strategic decision to establish Dwarka was influenced by both the protective qualities of the geographical landscape and the potential for a flourishing community. The site's position, surrounded by water, made it a formidable fortress against invaders, while also enabling it to become a bustling port that facilitated vibrant trade routes. The cultural tales and historical evidence intertwine, presenting Dwarka as a city where ancient strategies, myths, and economic success stories merge. The excavation and study of these underwater relics paint a detailed picture of a society adept in sophisticated urban planning and advanced maritime trade. As we dive deeper into the sea to uncover more about Dwarka, each artifact and structural piece recovered adds depth to our understanding of its historical and mythological significance. These insights help us appreciate the complex interplay between cultural heritage and historical development in ancient Indian civilizations. Located on the western coast, Dwarka was like a fortress against enemies, using its geographical benefits and access to important sea routes that helped with trade and communication. But this city was more than just a safe place. It was seen as a symbol of divine protection and cleverness, mixing spiritual importance with stunning architecture. The story of Dwarka, known for its impressive buildings and its mysterious sinking, captures people's imaginations, making it a subject of interest and respect. Often called the City of Gold in ancient texts, Dwarka is not only famous for using gold in its buildings, but also represents a time of unmatched wealth, prosperity, and architectural creativity. This legendary city, with its golden palaces and precious stones, large public areas, and strong defenses, is a clear example of the peak of ancient city development and wealth. From Dwarka's stories, we venture into a chilly theory about lost civilizations beneath Antarctica's ice, exploring Dwarka's divine blueprint. Dwarka's richness went beyond its physical treasures. It included its advanced design and layout, credited to Vishwakarma, the divine architect in Hindu mythology, who Lord Krishna hired. Vishwakarma's plan for Dwarka was a masterpiece of architecture. The city was carefully divided into specific areas for homes, markets, temples, and public buildings. This organization made sure the city ran smoothly, with each section fulfilling its role without interfering with others. The residential areas, built for comfort and easy access, were designed with safety and beauty in mind, ensuring that the city's residents lived in a secure, appealing, and in harmony with nature. Yet one of the most intriguing stories about Dwarka is how it mysteriously sank. The sinking of these areas is mainly due to the land sinking rather than the sea rising. According to legend, the city was doomed and eventually submerged by the sea after Lord Krishna left this world. This tale is not just an important part of Hindu mythology, marking the end of an era and the beginning of Kali Yuga. It has also attracted the attention of archaeologists and historians. Their underwater searches near today's city of Dwarka have discovered sunken structures, providing a real connection to the city's legendary past. These discoveries hint at the existence of a significant settlement that might have gradually succumbed to rising sea levels or other catastrophic events, giving some historical backbone to the mythological tales. The submergence of Dwarka is often seen through a symbolic lens, reflecting on the ephemeral nature of wealth and the inevitability of change. It reminds us that even the most splendid creations, no matter how grand or well-built, are not immune to the forces of time and nature. This story, rich with historical intrigue and mythological depth, continues to enchant and provoke thought, bridging the ancient with the present and the mythical with the real. I want to talk about Antarctica. They are clearly protecting or preserving something that may or may not be under 3 miles of ice. There's undoubtedly a time when Antarctica was lush and green. The question is, was it lush and green during the lifetime of the human species? Yes, and this is where it gets tricky. Imagine setting out on an expedition to the frozen, remote expanses of Antarctica, only to uncover secrets of a lost civilization that might have thrived there in ancient times. This captivating theory proposes that parts of an advanced ancient civilization might have once thrived on what is today the icy expanse of Antarctica. This theory is linked to the concept of Earth crust displacement, suggesting that occasionally the entire outer shell of the Earth, much like the peel of an orange, can shift while leaving the core stationary. This would imply that Antarctica was not always at the South Pole and might have once enjoyed a temperate climate conducive to human habitation. However, this theory faces significant skepticism. One major question it raises is, does this kind of shift actually occur? This one has brought me the most criticism among all the theories I have explored and supported. The scientific community largely views the idea of such dramatic geographic transformations as speculative and unsupported by robust geological proof. The established theories of plate tectonics do not agree with the idea that the Earth's crust could move so drastically and swiftly as to reposition an entire continent from a temperate zone to the South Pole. Yet, the theory extends beyond simple geographical considerations. It delves into global myths, legends, and religious scriptures, interpreting them as possible hints at the existence of this ancient civilization. Stories of vast floods and cataclysmic events from these texts are not dismissed as mere fiction, but are considered allegorical accounts of actual historical events that may have caused the collapse of this sophisticated society. To me, the most crucial issue is the possibility of a global cataclysm at the end of the Ice Age. It's theorized that a major catastrophe, such as a flood or comet impact, might have erased this civilization from the historical record, with any survivors possibly scattering across the globe, imparting their advanced knowledge to other nascent cultures. Particularly significant are the submerged continental shelves. The sea levels rose by 400 feet at the end of the last Ice Age. It's important to clarify, this increase occurred over approximately 11,000 to 12,000 years. It wasn't a sudden surge. This theory also explores the impact this lost civilization could have had on later societies. It's believed that the remnants of this ancient society significantly influenced the development of renowned ancient cultures like the Egyptians and Sumerians. The presence of similar architectural structures and astronomical alignments at various ancient sites is used as proof of a common source of knowledge. This implies that these early civilizations may have inherited their predecessors' sophisticated architectural methods, astronomical knowledge, and perhaps other forgotten technologies and wisdom. The discovery of methods to determine longitudes that depict the world as it was during the last Ice Age suggests that someone back then was mapping the globe. Imagine a scenario where an advanced civilization flourished tens of thousands of years ago, well before the Sumerians of Mesopotamia, who are traditionally considered the markers of the dawn of civilization around 6,000 years ago. This bold assertion challenges the conventional timeline of history, proposing that this complex society existed during the last Ice Age or perhaps even earlier, posing a major challenge to mainstream historical accounts that typically view complex societies and state-level civilizations as relatively recent phenomena. The evidence pointing to this is as intriguing as it is contentious. It includes architectural wonders such as the megalithic structures of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, the iconic Stonehenge in England, and the majestic pyramids of Egypt. Could the submerged ruins of Heraklion reveal darker secrets about ancient civilizations? What if they're hiding truths we aren't ready for? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's mysteries.